Good afternoon. February the 23rd, 2015 is behind us, except for the last hour of trading in the E-mini. The Greek deal has been postponed. They're supposed to deliver the goodies tomorrow. I think the most telling comment about that was somebody from the political party that just won power in Greece said, "What good does an extra 4 months do to improve our negotiating position?" Assuming that Greece can improve their negotiating position. Listen, he who has the checkbook usually wins, and that's the situation Greece finds himself in, and they need the money. There's no way to get around it. So I imagine Greece will go ahead and agree to whatever it is. I think that if the EU could see economic growth, or they could absorb some write-off of debt, they would be more amenable to it than they will be right now. So until that happens, Greece is probably on the hook on paper for what they've been on the hook for the whole time, even though they've been able to cut a lot of latitude and freedom around the edges. It'll probably still go on that way. So we came in this morning hoping to buy the 95, 97 area. We knew that 2100 might be support right down here, and you can see that it was a very, very choppy market, a bracketed market. I think we had 3 days last week where we didn't have a hell of a lot of range, and it was very, very difficult to trade. Right now we're looking at a little right at 6 points during the day, so there isn't a lot to work with right here. In retrospect, this is not a trade off the S. There's a retest failure. This S would have produced a little money. Here's a retest failure. We were in this trade until right here on that bar. Then the market ever so slowly breaks out and produces a couple of small winners here. Here's a retest failure. This is a great, probably the easiest trade to see, or this one did produce a winner. Value area low, a B right here, small winner. But look at these spikes that we have. There's a retest failure right there. And hindsight is always perfect, but what really strikes me about today is just look at these bars that we have throughout the day with no follow-through to speak of. So very, very difficult trading. The bottom line is we only have 6 points to work with during the day. That's not enough if you're going to make it in a go-with contract. If you're going to lean against support or resistance like you can in the note or the bond, yes, you could have done well today. But remember, responsive markets, you have to sell strength, you have to buy into weakness. Go with markets you're jumping on board to see how far it will take you. And when we don't have 12, 15, 20 points to work with during the day, it's very, very difficult trading in a go-with market. So the market's on hold for the Greek deal tomorrow. I imagine it will be as dictated by the E-mini. Inside day right here. That usually means trading range. Resistance held. Maybe we're going to get a support of the 8587 off of this. So trading range is what the F1 shows us. Looking at the F2 screen, it's a P, but I've seen stronger Ps, and the reason for this is that volume is below time. Time's at so basically 2104, and volume's at 03. Now volume is higher than it has been the previous 4 days. It's about where it was in the night session. So bottom line is volume has moved higher in the distribution. So selling failure to take out the 5 to 8 area is a pretty easy trade to see. On the buy side, maybe we can do a little bit better. So maybe this 95, 97 off the F1 chart, maybe as low as 85. So we'll put 95, 97 on the idea that we can go a little lower, buy 1. And then 90, 92 for buy 2. And we'll put a question mark at 2100 once again. You know, one of the things that you learn as a trader is that you can come in, you can do everything right, and then the market doesn't cooperate. And it's just part of trading. You know, sometimes everybody's there to play, and sometimes they're not. And they were not there to play. Even though you stepped up to the plate and you gave it your best shot. Okay, we have an inside day. This implies a trading range off the F1 screen for the note, too. There's your inside day. So nothing's been resolved. If we put all this together, we're still looking at a pretty nice B. Market is trying to trade lower, but hasn't. Tomorrow is the 2-year auction. Probably precludes much in the way of selling tomorrow, any at all. So we're going to be a little more aggressive on the buy side because of the 2-year auction. So you can sell failure to take out the buck to 04. Buying this, I'd like to get it done right. The last rotate down stopped at 25.5, then at 28. So this 29 to 25 is buy one because of the 2-year auction. On the assumption the E-mini is not going to do a hell of a lot, and then 21 to 17 for buy two. Leaning against this area right here. I'd like to get it done. Lean against 24 if we can do it, but again, if the E-mini does actually start to sell this afternoon, we'll be lucky to get 29. Why? Because of the 2-year auction. Now, there is some news tomorrow. We have Case-Shiller up 4.3%, and then the big number is consumer confidence at 99.6. That would be supportive for the indexes, not so for the financials. Similar situation here. We're going to sell failure to take out 12 to 16. On the buy side, 01s, so 1s to 29s for buy one. Right in the middle, we are making a directional call, and then 21 to 25 for buy two. The knob spread expanded quite a bit today. Went from 16.30 to 17.10. Okay, gold will be an interesting tomorrow, probably on hold until Greece delivers their side of the agreement to the EU, ECB. Germany's and some other ones out of Brussels have already said that it better be as dictated and prescribed or it ain't going to fly, and we'll have to see what Greece does in that situation. So I imagine we're going to have ourselves a trading range here, not tomorrow too. So 5-7, sell 1, and then 10-12, sell 2. On the buy side are 95 to 97. And then 90 to 92. If Greece capitulates and gives the EU all that it wants, imagine gold will sell, as will financials after the auction is over. If Greece gives the EU a slap in the face, Pyrrhic victory, no doubt, but defiantly gets up there and screams and howls, then I imagine gold will be a little higher, but it won't break out until this issue is resolved. And they do have till Friday to resolve this, as per last week's schedule. Quite a bit of range for the euro. 1,300 held. No reason not to think that we can't get back up and retest a reward day. So we had a 60 to 70 sell. We're at 35, so we'll make 50 to 60, sell 1. Try to pick up the top of value right here, 75 to 85, sell 2. On the buy side, I'm going to leave it at 113. Got to give it room to the downside because I don't think anything that is signed tomorrow or this week will be long-term supportive for the euro currency. And last but not least, crude. Let's go take a look at the, now we came in this morning to nothing but doom and gloom, and crude had a handle of 48. Copper had collapsed, and we managed to not have the bottom fall out of crude this morning as far as the day session went. So we've got volume down here in the 48.50 area. Got the bottom of value and the start of this new distribution up. So 47, 47 and a quarter, 48.50 are pretty good support, and you can see right here that probably 51 is pretty good resistance right now. So this one definitely says find a place to sell it. F1 screen. Separate out the day session. I didn't find any article that explained this, so I'm going to see if something pops up this afternoon. So we've rejected prices below 49. We've got stops below this, so we'll make 48.50.75 by 1. That's where support is. 48, 48 and a quarter by 2. On the sell side, 49.50.75, sell 1. 50, 50 and a quarter, sell 2. And until I nail down that news that did what it did, I'm reluctant to put it any closer. Folks, that's it for February the 23rd. Very, very quiet trading today. I hope that didn't frustrate you, but we have days like this, especially in the summer. So it's good practice. And the sooner you can make a bracketed market call, the more you'll prosper in a market like this. Y'all have a great evening. I'll see you bright and early in the morning, 6:45 Central. I'm out of here.